There are currently 5 levels of automated driving. 1, which is basically no help at all, and level 5, which is a complete door-to-door automated taxi or personal chauffeur experience. Right now, here in 2024, pretty much every auto manufacturer is sitting at a level 2. And today we're going to see exactly what a level 2 advanced driver's assistant program gets us while driving this Vapor Blue Metallic 2023 Ford Mustang Mach-E SUV, which is equipped with and has an active service plan for Blue Cruise for its hands-free highway driving technology. Blue Cruise has been named by Consumer Reports as its top active driving assistance system. And if it has the highest score from Consumer Reports, I feel like it's a good vehicle for us to take and benchmark and see what the level 2 driving technology is really like. I did ask if I could borrow the Mustang Mach-E Rally for this video, but Ford says that the driving assistance feature only works on controlled access highways and not off-road, but maybe we can try out the Rally next time. The route we'll be running today is my commute to our new wheelchair manufacturing facility, which you'll see for the first time, and we'll see how Blue Cruise handles hands-free on the highway driving portion of my commute. I have a bunch of cameras rigged up for this special occasion. I don't always commute with this much recording going on, but after seeing the way some of y'all drive, maybe I should. Blue Cruise works on 97% of controlled access highways across the US and Canada. That's most interstates and freeways, and these areas are called blue zones. Blue Cruise is also available on the 2024 F-150, the F-150 Lightning, and the Expedition. Once I'm driving on the freeway, I can engage hands-free driving by pressing one single adaptive cruise control button, and we are good to take our hands off of the steering wheel. It says Blue Cruise on, watch the road, and be prepared to take control, which is what level 2 driving is all about. The driver is still responsible for the vehicle, and we'll talk more about that later. But as of right now, my foot is not touching the accelerator, my foot's not touching the brake, and my hands are not touching the steering wheel. And we are going with traffic while the car keeps me centered in the lane. It's a really cool experience, and it's a little heart-patterning the first time you do it, but after a while it gets pretty normal. And it feels very natural driving down the freeway without touching the steering wheel, as weird as that sounds. I've been using the Mustang Mach-E for about 2 months now. As we're transitioning to a bigger building, I've given my truck to my guys over at the shop so they can make deliveries, haul material, and just make that move happen. So testing the Mustang Mach-E and Blue Cruise happened at the absolute perfect time. Blue Cruise is a hands-free driving system, and as we round this corner, you can see that I am not moving my hands or using my hands. And unlike some other driving assistance softwares where you have to touch the steering wheel to, keep it active and engaged, Blue Cruise is a completely hands-free system, meaning that I don't have to touch the steering wheel to keep the system engaged during my commute. It's a hands off the wheel, eyes on the road kind of situation. While the car is steering on its own, accelerating on its own, and using the brakes on its own, I'm still the one in charge and responsible for everything that's going on. And I can take over at any point by just grabbing the steering wheel or touching the brake pedal. Remember, level 2 driving automation like Blue Cruise still requires that the human sitting in the driver's seat is still alert and supervising and always ready to take control of the vehicle. There are a lot of external cameras, radar, and a GPS database to handle all of the driving calculations. And most importantly, there's an infrared camera mounted right above the steering wheel that's making sure my head position and my eyes are still alert and I'm, the one in charge. This driver-facing camera is a differentiator of the Ford system and is an integral component of enabling the hands-free technology, which we are still using. Fun fact, as we're rounding this corner right here, it's the turns that always, makes it a little more interesting. Fun fact, as we're rounding the corner here, this camera here can see the infrared lights flashing above the steering wheel, and you can test this out for yourself. Those lights are not visible with the naked eye. If you have a remote control at home and a smartphone, you can take the remote control and shine it at the smartphone while you're pressing a button, and you can see that infrared LED illuminate through the camera, but not your normal eyes. Don't test the remote control while you're driving, of course, just when you're home on the couch in front of the TV or something. And since the camera is infrared, even if I have sunglasses on, it can still see through the glasses to make sure I'm alert and paying attention to the road. Also, a minor detail, but I'm a huge fan of the way Ford has designed the screen. Oh wait, check this out. So it says lane change is possible. It's kind of acting like a co-pilot for me. It notices that there's space on the lane next to me, so I'm going to hit the blinker, still hands-free, and the car is going to merge over, crossing the lane, and then I turn off the blinker, and now we're centered in a new lane because it knew that the car in front of me in the previous lane was going slow and that there was space in here to get back up to highway speeds. Pretty cool. back to what I was saying though, I think it's super cool that Ford has designed this display in a way that makes it more accessible to a larger group of people, especially those with red-green color blindness. Most of the display is blue for Blue Cruise obviously, but there's some neon green lettering and white lettering so that more people can use the display. Definitely thumbs up for that. Accessibility is a huge thing. Blue Cruise is like a backseat driver that actually has good ideas. The longest I've gone hands-free is about 30 minutes on the freeway. I haven't needed to use it longer than that, but I know some people have gone hands-free for even longer. And one thing I've noticed as I've done my commutes is that Blue Cruise, if it notices a very large vehicle next to me, it will kind of shift me over in the lane to put some distance, just like I would normally do if I was the one holding the steering wheel. This in-lane repositioning feature is definitely a nice touch. The eye monitoring feature isn't overbearing either. I can look away and have a conversation with someone or adjust the music on the radio and it won't, oh, there we go, did you hear that? All right, so it just told me to watch the road and, pay attention to the road. Remember, Blue Cruise is an active driving assistant and it's here to help take some bandwidth off of my brain cells since it's easier to drive with a co-pilot. I'm still the one fully responsible from getting from point A to point B, but it's nice to have some extra assistance making my commute easier. And when my commute is over and it's time for me to exit the freeway, I can either grab the steering wheel or press the adaptive cruise control button, and then I'm back to being hands-on. And there you have it. With the help of Blue Cruise, we've arrived at our new wheelchair manufacturing facility, 5 times larger than our previous building. And I'm not sure how long it's gonna take to get from level 2 to level 3 to 4 to 5, but I do know teamwork makes the dream work, and Blue Cruise on the Ford Mustang Mach-E makes for an excellent teammate. That is pretty fun to drive this thing. Let me know what you think of hands-free technology down in the comments below, and thanks a ton for watching. I'll see you around.